Coach Tony, Wrestling Podium Performance, and today I'm going to be diving into the world of creatine. It seems to be all the buzz lately. It's entered the mainstream. It used to just be one of those sport performance products. But in reality, it's a very natural thing. So this is going to be a two-part. Today it's going to be a primer, answering the who, what, when, where, why, and how of creatine. And then on Friday, I'm going to be answering all the questions that have to do with the supplement side. Diving deep into there, dispelling some of the myths, some of the claims, some of the, not necessarily fraudulent, but some of the overhyping of overexpensive and overcharging products. So first, let's dive in today, starting off with what is creatine? So it's a naturally occurring compound in our bodies. It's made up primarily of 3 amino acids, arginine, glycine, and methionine. So when these 3 come together to create creatine, it helps our body function. It helps us perform physical tasks, especially those explosive, heavy tasks. So if you're lifting heavy, you're sprinting, that's where you need the creatine. That's where you see people jumping out of the gym in basketball. That's when you see that slap shot or that fastball. That's creatine in action. Now there's some old parents' tales that go back 20, even 30 years. Oh, my child's thinking about taking creatine. Oh, what is that? They think that it's a PED. A performance enhancing thing. Well, it is, but it's not a banned substance. It's a naturally occurring compound in the body. There's nothing against it. It's actually beneficial to your health. So to dispel those myths, there's nothing really negative about using creatine. It's naturally occurring. It's part of your daily diet, actually. Which brings us right into, well, where do I get creatine? The primary source for most of us is in our daily diet. We get it from meat. So animal-based products, but only meat. So when you're having that steak, that chicken, that fish fillet, you're actually consuming a little bit of creatine with it. It's a very minute amount. In an entire day, you only really need to get about 5 grams. But in a full 1 kilogram of meat, you're only going to get about 5 grams of creatine. Think about that. That's a 0.5% yield. So 1 kilogram, you get 5 grams. So in order to bring up the amount of creatine that we take in, we need a supplement. Something like this right here. This is what I personally use, Clean Athlete's Creatine Monohydrate. It's what I provide for athletes because it's banned substance free. It's guaranteed banned substance free. Now you can also pick it up at your grocery store, local vitamin shop, pharmacy. It should really be something that's actually quite cheap. You shouldn't be paying like $50 or $60 for a half kilo. You should be paying like 20 bucks for getting 300, 400, 500 grams of it. You can pick it up off of Amazon. That's where you can get it. Okay, I mentioned you need about 5 grams, but how much do you really need? I would say that the absolute thing is more. In the words of Kobe Bryant in that infamous Nike commercial, when he's asked questions, he just answers, more. Well, in the event of creatine, the vast majority of people, the answer is, how much do you need? More. You need to get about 5 grams, but research is showing that it's beneficial going all the way up to about 15, and even for larger individuals, 20 grams per day. Now, I'm not saying go out and eat 4 kilos of meat in a day. That's going to break the bank for the majority of people. But by using a very cheap supplement, you can bring up your body's saturation levels of it. Now we've gotten into how much you need. When do you take it? Well, if you're eating your meals, right there, you're consuming it as you eat meat. Okay, yes, there's this societal norm of not eating meat at breakfast. But I challenge you, why not? It's delicious. We only tell ourselves culturally and societally not to have it, but steak and eggs for breakfast is an amazing, good tasting breakfast, and you're going to feel great after eating it. So why not have meat or a little bit of canned fish or fresh fish as part of your breakfast? Have an omelet with some sauteed shrimp. Boom, you're adding a little bit of creatine right there. As for supplemental, on your training days, mix it with your post-workout shake. Now it's been kind of the norm that people take it with their pre-workout. but you're not going to be absorbing it. It's just going to be sitting in your gut. And some people find that when they take creatine, they get a little bit of digestive distress from it because it is pulling a lot of water with it. So it's not necessarily the easiest to digest, especially if you're taking it pre-workout. That's why take it post-workout, because one, you've already smashed your body. Your body is screaming for nutrients. You've also depleted your muscle source of creatine. So if you take it post-workout when your body is like, I need nutrients, give it to me, right there, best time to take it. Mix it with your post-workout, with your protein, and if you're fairly lean or you're somebody who takes a little bit of carbohydrate post-workout, that will actually make it so that the uptake is a little bit easier for a lot of people and not having any of that digestive distress where, oh, you're going to take it, you feel just fine. And if you're taking one that's a little higher quality, where it's like a Japanese sourced one, which like the Creapure has been known for years to be one of the highest qualities you can get, you shouldn't have much, if any, intestinal distress. And the supplement's name is going to be, as you see, it's going to be creatine monohydrate. You switch over to the label on the back and it says creatine monohydrate. Now, yes, there are some other exotic creatines out there, which I'm going to dive into in part 2. Here's the secret. They're stealing your money. Because they're not really any better than creatine monohydrate. And there is an entirely massive body of research behind the efficacy and the benefits of creatine monohydrate, whereas all these other ones, there really isn't any that backs it up other than it just looks flashy with a nice label and a big price tag. And on your non-training days, you can basically take it whenever. You just mix it with water, or if you're having a protein shake on your non-training days, boom. Mix it, have it any time of the day. That way it's simple. Whenever is the most convenient for you. Having it daily helps to keep your body's saturation levels high. That way you're not having these peaks and valleys. You want to keep it so the saturation levels are nice and high. It's like hitting a protein goal every day. You want to have your protein number hit every day, regardless of whether you trained or not. Why do you need creatine? Well, if you work out, you do a sport, one of the biggest reasons is it's going to help improve your performance. The reason it helps to improve your performance is that it keeps your tissue saturated. Your muscle tissue, it keeps it saturated with the creatine. But how does it do that? How does it improve performance? Those 3 energy systems. You have aerobic, you don't need it there. You have 2 anaerobic systems. You have your glycolytic or the lactic one where, oh, your muscles are burning. And you have this extremely powerful immediate system called the ATP-CP. So that's adenosine triphosphate-creatine phosphate system. The creatine goes in with the phosphate molecule, and when you're doing something explosive, you're jumping, you're exploding, you're throwing a fastball, you're throwing a punch, you're lifting your 1 rep max. That's where the creatine comes in. It helps to give you that little bit of added oomph in the beginning. It helps you have that full potential of what you can do. When you're unsaturated of it, you're not going to be able to do multiple bouts, you're not going to be able to do multiple rounds or sets, and you're going to have a detriment in your performance. And as I was saying before, there's a growing body of research that's even showing that creatine is good for your brain. It helps to improve cognitive performance. And as we age and our brain starts to kind of go as we get into those advanced elderly ages, it can help to offset some of those cognitive declines. So who needs to take it? Honestly, I say everybody. Everybody should use creatine. But some populations need a little bit more. If you're an athlete or you're an avid gym goer, you need it to help with recovery and to help with improving your performance in the gym. Especially if you're in sports, you want to improve your performance, you want to make a little bit of money. Well, if you can throw a little bit faster, kick the ball a little bit harder, that's going to help you out. And then the elderly, as I just said, that little bit of added cognitive function is really going to help, but also keeping the muscles saturated, because as we age, our muscles don't work as well. Things like sarcopenia start to kick in. We start to have muscle wastage. We start to lose muscle mass as we age. Well, if we can keep our body saturated with creatine phosphate and we're able to keep our performance up a little bit more, we can stave off some of that muscle wastage. And then you get the vegans and vegetarians. Remember I said the only natural way to get creatine? Meat. Well, if you don't eat meat, you got to get it some other way. and the only other way you can get it is through supplementation. So that kind of answers our who, what, when, where, why, and how on creatine. In part 2, I'm going to be getting really deep into the supplements side and what is and isn't a valid claim of them. But for now, enjoy this one. If you've got any questions, leave the comment below. Remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Coach Tony, Wrestling Podium Performance. Embrace your potential.